Have you ever looked at your life and thought, I don't even recognize myself anymore? I remember this exact thing. In 2017, I was looking in the mirror and I remember saying, who am I? I don't even know who I am anymore. I really think it's easy to find yourself in a moment where life isn't fitting like a puzzle, but rather it feels like the aftermath of a big tornado. And if you're from Texas or even Oklahoma or somewhere like that, you know the tornado comes in and what it leaves in its path is complete destruction. Whether it's divorce, career loss, burnout, becoming a mom, losing the chance to be a mom, your kids growing up and leaving home, a big health crisis, or a huge spiritual shift, you can connect with you again. And I will tell you, God can give you peace beyond what you can understand. And I am proof of that. You're not lost, but often you find out the version of you that existed before is no longer in existence and it doesn't fit anymore. So today I want to help you stop panicking or being confused about who you're not and start reconnecting with who you are becoming and who you want to be. The beauty is having to rebuild or really get in connection with who you are is that you have this ability to change it up, to add more space here or there and adjust in places that weren't working before. So if you're struggling to figure out exactly who you are now, come along and let's explore how to rebuild after life has taken you for a little spin. Have you ever felt held back by self-doubt, whether it's speaking up in a meeting or connecting with others or simply just believing in your own worth? Well, you're not alone. Welcome to the Crazy Confidence Coach podcast. I'm Heather Edwards, Master Certified Life Coach, and my goal is to empower you to step into your most authentic, confident self. Here, you're going to discover practical strategies and powerful insights to help you improve your communication, deepen those relationships, and elevate your self-esteem. And each week, I'm going to guide you through some actionable tips and mindset shifts that are specifically designed to help you break free from fear, show up boldly in every area of your life, and build crazy confidence. Are you ready to stop hiding in the shadows, playing small, and avoiding the spotlight? Grab your favorite pen and a notebook, and let's get to it. The truth about identity loss is not failure. It's transition. And you don't lose yourself. Your old identity just expires. And in the process of living life, we're constantly growing and evolving. And at times, that feels great. You know, when you're getting into shape and eating healthy and work is going great and your relationships are exactly how you want them, somewhere between perfection and living the life that is real life, you find this messy middle and struggling to be your best, figuring out what your best even is, deciding if you truly believe who you are is who you are and who you want to be. It's so easy to get off track and lose sight of who you, Y-O-U, is. Many women are just living in roles, not true identities. So caretaker, achiever, peacemaker, mediator. Even still, you are more than a title, mother, boss, manager, wife. Whatever you identify yourself with and give yourself a title as, you're so much more than that. When a role shifts, it can feel as if your identity goes with it. And I will be so transparent here. When life threw me a curveball and being a mother was thrown out of the window for me, I was completely lost. I really believed that I had no other worth, no value, and no identity. I actually remember questioning if I couldn't be a mother, then what was I going to be? And I looked back in history at women who were beheaded for not having children or not having the right gender of children. My goodness, things were just so much pressure for women to have children. And I remember believing for a short time that not being a mother may make me less of a wife. And that hurt. That was really hard for me to process and get through. And I'm sure it wasn't easy for my husband to get through with me either. So I had to rebuild who I believed I was and step into who I wanted to be, despite the role of being a mother and not being able to be that mother at that point in my life. The truth is, I wasn't starting from scratch, but I did have to get really honest with myself, and so do you. When I went through all of my things, I remember having to really lean on God, but I was struggling with my faith. And in that time period, He showed me grace and love and just repaired my heart and soul. And I know He can do that for you too, if you are in a place that you're just beside yourself and confused. But let's talk about, why do we feel so disconnected and confused with our identity when life is chaotic or we're experiencing a major life shift? First of all, there's this loss of certainty. That piece of it, being certain about your future and knowing what is coming when we are in chaos or a major life shift, that goes out the window. You have a loss of control. When things change rapidly, there feels like there's no control and there's nothing you can do to make sense of what is going on around you. And there's a loss of identity, who you believe you are and who you believe other people think you are. And then the last thing that we'll point out here is just the fear of making the wrong next move. Your identity is to be tied up into, well, if I don't make the right choice here, then I somehow am making the wrong decision and I will be somehow doomed for that decision. But here is a question that I have for you. What if you trusted yourself? What if you weren't afraid of starting over? What if you weren't afraid of having your own back? You really don't need this big plan, a 5-year plan. You don't need to figure out your life. You just need to reconnect with yourself in small, honest ways. So here are the 3 gentle steps that will help you start rebuilding today. Number 1, tell yourself the truth without judgment. I look back, I wasn't telling myself the truth. I was being so dramatic and overwhelmed. So not judging myself for that at all. But what do you actually feel right now is something that you might ask yourself. Not what you should feel, not what looks strong, just the truth, just something that is simple and true for you. Let me give you an example. I feel lost. I feel angry. I feel tired of pretending. So what happens when you are honest with yourself, that truth will create some clarity for you. When you avoid the truth, then that creates confusion and kind of resistance in your mind and in your body. When we get caught up in being what we think we should be or what someone else thinks we should be, we get lost. Why? Because it's not aligned with our truth, our own truth. So step 2, you're going to reconnect with what feels like you. Ask yourself, what feels like me? Even a little bit, what feels like you? This is about energy, not about logic. I'm going to give you some examples: wanting quiet, wanting space, wanting creativity, wanting to say no, or wanting to say yes. I remember a moment shortly after our last miscarriage. Our close friends were getting married and my husband was in the wedding. The bride and groom invited both of us to go look at venues with them because we were super close with them. We all have service industry experience. And so it was just a way to celebrate with them and go with them and enjoy it. I think it was just going to be a fun day. I just was in this really weird stage of grief and really I couldn't get out of the house. I wasn't in the mood for it. I knew I wouldn't be merry, I guess. I wasn't going to be a good person to be around. So I stayed back and my husband went ahead and went with our friends. So when he comes home, he tells me they're really wanting a chalkboard for their wedding. And at the time I was making chalkboards. I was in a very creative mode in my life and I was chalk painting, making chalkboards, wedding chalkboards, and painting all sorts of things. So what was really interesting is I decided to take that on and do it. And creating and crafting with my hands was absolutely soothing for me. I look back on that and I realize now that it was solitary. I didn't have to be anyone for anyone that I didn't want to be. I could just be silent and work and be creative. Now that project at that moment gave me such joy because it was me. It was a little piece of me that was still available to me. The part of me that was still creative, loved helping other people, and loved working with my hands. It filled a cup for me that I didn't know I needed to fill. So I'm going to ask you, what feels a little bit like you, even a little bit, even though it isn't necessary, logical right now. Here are some things like 10 minutes of something that feels grounding, saying no to something, choosing rest without guilt. It could be something as simple as taking a bath. It could be that simple. Who knows? Whatever you need to do that would be grounding for you and that might help you connect to yourself. Here are some other examples: reading, walking, exercise, visiting a friend, hiking, travel, cooking, bathing, hot bath with some bubbles. Maybe it's inviting some people over for a Bible study and really focusing on God. Who knows what could it be for you, but find that thing that would be good for you at this moment. What feels like you, even a little bit. That's your step 2. Step 3, make one aligned decision today. Not a big life decision, just one small, honest choice. One choice a day will make a whole pile of choices by the end of the week, so one a day is good. Setting a boundary, signing up for something that excites you, letting go of something that drains you, taking a 10-minute walk to take in nature. You're not going to gain confidence by having it all figured out. What you gain confidence from is building trust one little decision at a time. I can tell you one of the decisions I made was I took myself out on dates when I was single and looking for someone in my late 30s after a huge breakup. I was just taking myself out on dates and treating myself the way I would want my future husband to treat me. And it was a beautiful time. I actually have fond memories of my dates where I would go shopping, listen to music, and go to a movie. And I still just have the best memories of that time, even though in theory I was lonely and really wishing and praying for the right person to come along. I really enjoyed that time of my life. So find a decision, make an aligned decision, something that is for you and gives you joy. Right now, you may actually believe there isn't any hope, but things are going to get better or shape in a way that will feel normal again eventually. And I know I've been there where it feels like it's never going to be normal again. By the way, my mom always says normal is just a setting on the dryer, so you can take that or not. It's so difficult to believe the ground will stop shaking and your identity will just keep taking these hits, but you're okay. You are more than the roles that you play or the people in your life. You're valuable and you're magnificent just the way you are right now, being you. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are always in the process of becoming the next best version of you. And the real truth, the woman you're becoming isn't someone you have to chase. She's someone you uncover just one honest step at a time. So here are the 3 steps again, if you are in this place where you need to start rebuilding. 1, telling yourself the truth without judgment. What do I actually feel right now? Number 2, reconnect with what feels like you. What feels like me, even just a little bit. Number 3, make one aligned decision today. Not big life decisions, just one small, honest choice, because those choices each day will help build your confidence. And by the end of the week, you're going to have a pile of wonderful choices for you. If you're in this space where you don't recognize yourself anymore and you're ready to rebuild with lots of clarity and build that confidence, this is exactly the work I do with my clients. You don't have to figure this out alone. How would your life be different? How would it change if you had more clarity, less confusion, and knew with certainty you always had your own back? I want you to think of 3 things right now in your life that would change if this was your new reality. Now, from here, I want you to go sign up for coaching and gift yourself the blessing of becoming the new you. And if you're not a person who really wants coaching, that's okay too. Feel free to go and check out my freebies on my website that I'll be linked below in all my episodes, and have a fabulous, blessed day. Love you big. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It has been a blast. I would love for you to do me a huge favor and either go leave a rating or a review. And if you really love the podcast or you've learned anything at all, please pass it on to a friend or a family member that might enjoy the podcast as well. That's how I grow, and that's how I'm able to continue bringing you content. If you are interested in coaching, just go to thecrazyconfidencecoach.com. You can sign up for a free discovery call there. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you next Tuesday so we can build our crazy confidence together. Love you big.